Hello, everyone. Welcome, third graders, to the solar system. Now, this is going to be an awesome PowerPoint because I'm going to tell you about the solar system, and you will know what the solar system is and what planets are by the end of this lesson. So, while you are listening to me go over the planets and go over the PowerPoint, I want you to be taking notes so that you can have them in class. I will ask you questions throughout this PowerPoint, and I will expect you to have those questions answered so we can discuss them in class tomorrow. So, first of all, I want you to look at this picture. Take a good look at it. Now, I'm sure all of you are very familiar with the sun. Now, the sun is part of the solar system. This is the sun, and these are the planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Now, planets are like big round balls. That's the shape of the planet. It's a ball, and they are round. They are round like round balls in the sky. The planets constantly rotate around the sun. So while the planets are rotating, they are also rotating as well. By rotating, I mean turning around. So think of just turning around. Whenever you just turn around. Remember that song? When you do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around, you make a full turn. That is what a planet does. So a planet, the planet goes around, and then it goes around the sun as well. So think of yourself going around someone, walking a circle around another person, and then turning around as you do it. And I encourage you to do that with someone. That is exactly how planets are doing with the sun. So we will also try that in class tomorrow if you don't have someone to do that with. So the next slide, let's see here. We are going to go ahead. You know what planets are. So we're going to go ahead and discuss the sun. Now, the sun is very important because, as I just said, planets rotate around the sun. So the sun is the very center of the solar system. So the sun is extremely hot. As you probably already know, I hope, do not look at the sun, ever look at the sun. Because if you look at the sun for a short period of time, you can go blinded because the sun is so strong. The light of the sun is so strong. So the sun is also a star. Now, whenever you think of stars, you probably think of the bright lights in the sky at nighttime. But the sun is also a star. It is a star in the daytime. So think of our question for the sun that I want you to think of in class. I want you to write down is, what would happen if we did not have a sun? What do you think would happen? Do you think we could survive without a sun? So those are two very important questions I want you to think about. And I want you to write answers down on a piece of paper so we can talk about it in class tomorrow. Now, Mercury is the first planet that is it's the closest to the sun. So it's the first out of 8 planets. It is the smallest planet. Now, a few things about Mercury. There are many craters, also known as holes, within its upper surface. And then one side is extremely hot and one side is extremely cold due to a slow rotation. So Mercury is also very rocky and has a hard surface. Now, I want you to write down the planet Mercury, and I want you to write down hard surface beside of it. And I have listed a website called nasa.government. And it is a wonderful site for you to look at the different planets, and has a lot of neat information on there. So, but I've listed that website. I want you to go to that website, and I want you to find Mercury on there and write down one interesting note and about Mercury. So that is the only planet you'll have to do that on. So if you have trouble reading that information, just get an adult to help you. So Venus is the second planet. I want you to write down Venus. It is also a solid surface. Write down solid surface. Now, it can be mistaken for a bright star shining in the night. So it's very bright because the sun shines on Venus. And so Venus is also a desert land. It has very poisonous air on Venus, which it can burn metal and, it can melt metal and burn human skin. Now, Earth is our third planet. We live on planet Earth, so we are very familiar with this planet. Now, this is the only planet that we could actually survive on. Why? It is because it has air, clean air that we can breathe. It has, we can survive on it because of the temperatures and because of the hard surface, and also because of fresh water. So a thick cloud covers the air surrounding the Earth so that we can survive on it. As I mentioned, Venus has poisonous air. It's too hot. It's too close to the surface. It's too close to the sun. Mars, this next one we will be talking about, is too further away from the sun. Earth is right there in the middle of Venus and Mars, and it is the right balance of temperature for us. So Mars being the fourth planet, and please write down Earth and also write down the surface. It's hard surface. Mars is the fourth planet. It is the land. The land is made up of deserts and volcanoes. It's a hard surface. Write that down. And it is seen as a red planet because it has a lot of deserts, like Venus. Jupiter is the fifth planet. Now, Jupiter is so big because 1,300 Earths, it is measured 1,300 Earths could actually fit inside the planet. That is how big it is. So lightning storms can last for hundreds of years on Jupiter. So also there's extreme electricity going around Jupiter. Remember, lightning is also electricity. And electricity is something that lights up our homes. It lights up a light bulb. It provides energy for our computers and a washing machine, dryer, anything like that. So Jupiter is the first out of the 4 planets to be made of gas. So the other planets that we will be talking about are made of gas. They are not a solid surface. We could not walk on these planets without sinking. So Saturn is the 6th planet. It is the planet that has the rings that are made up of ice and dust. So rings are a mile thick. So they're very thick. And Saturn is probably most famous because of its rings. So it's also Uranus, which is the 7th planet, is made of gas, and it also has rings. You notice that I do not have anything written about Uranus. It's because as the further away we get from the sun, the harder it is for experts such as scientists and astronomers, that's who studies stars and studies planets. It's hard for them to understand a lot about the planets that are more further away because it's like look at the phrase, looking for a needle in a haystack. It's extremely hard to see Uranus. And the reason why we know about Neptune is because it reflects off of Uranus. It's almost a duplicate copy of Uranus. And like I just said, it's difficult for astrologers to observe because of the great distance. So the solar system diagram, as I've said, this is kind of like the first slide we looked at. The sun is the very center. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are the planets that rotate around the sun. So please check out NASA, the NASA website, which I have posted, and I said just to write down about Mercury, but look up the other information too. If you're able to read it, be sure just look up the information. It is an awesome website, and it has just the different information on planets. I've also posted a video about YouTube, which is a song that helps you memorize the planets in order. And then I've also posted a game that will help you also memorize the solar system in order. So please look over those websites and have your questions. I've told you to write down each planet and write down the whether it's solid or liquid. Remember, the first four planets are solid, and the second group of four, are gas and liquid. So be sure and do that. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I will be looking forward to seeing all of you in class tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of the day.